If you're looking for an SUV that has a reasonable amount of cargo space and interior space for its class, comes in at a price under $25,000, the 2022 Honda HR-V Sport that's going to be in our video today might be something you should consider. And before anybody jumps down in the comments and says that's not a 2022, here's the deal. If you live in the American market, in the United States of America, this is what you get for 2022, as Honda has decided to delay the full redesign for the American market. That's right, there's going to be an American market specific redesign of the HR-V from Honda that will drop for the 2023 model year, likely later in 2022, mid to late year. So let's take a look at exactly what you can expect if this is something you might want to consider.
The 2022 Honda HR-V is a crossover with roomy seating, versatile cargo space, above average fuel economy when compared to its competitors, and features excellent outward visibility. Trim levels include LX, EX, and EXL, with base prices for each ranging between $21,420 up to $26,220. Exterior features include an exterior color of platinum white, front fog lights and daytime running lights. Black 18-inch alloy wheels are wrapped with 225/50 VR18 tires, front and rear, and the driver will be aided by speed sensing steering. Safety features include brake assist, a rear view camera, electronic stability, and a security system, in addition to traction control. Under the hood is a 1.8-liter four-cylinder producing 141 horsepower and 127 pound-feet of torque. The engine is mated to a CVT with sport mode, and front-wheel drive is standard, but all-wheel drive is optional on all trim levels. Estimated MPGs come in at 26 miles per gallon city, 31 miles per gallon highway, and 28 miles per gallon combined. Honda also says the HR-V should burn 3.6 gallons of gas per 100 miles driven. The interior includes a turn signal lever located on the left-hand side of the steering wheel that is not only ready to, but meant to be used while driving. It's okay to laugh, by the way. The turn signal stalk is also where the functionality for the headlights and front fog lights is located. Front beverage holders are found within the console area and support multiple sizes of cups. The steering wheel is adjustable tilt and telescopically. Remote keyless entry is also part of the sport trim level. The HR-V also features wireless phone connectivity, steering wheel mounted controls, and paddle shifters for when you want to feel sporty while driving around.
And as I open the rear cargo area, I'll put the numbers on the screen as far as what your cargo numbers are. Of course, you can maximize that by folding down the rear seats right here. Very easy to do. And there is an insert right here that goes over the carpet back here in the rear cargo area. That's going to keep the carpet nice and clean if you're ever hauling something around that, well, could get that dirty. And underneath the floor, of course, you're going to find, good news here, not a tire repair kit, but it is a spare tire. And all the tools required to change that are there as well. And one interesting little trick that I want to show you concerning the floor here, when you fold it up just right, as I'm showing you how to do it on the screen, if you ever do need to change a tire, that's going to make the process easier because the floor area is going to be completely out of the way and it will stay in place until you move it. Very easy to do, but very useful in a multitude of ways. So as we start the test drive, let me just throw a little something out there for you to think about. Obviously, there are a whole lot of us who review these vehicles here on YouTube, and you have to stop and consider a person's background and their experience as to how they present the way a vehicle drives, the way it rides, the way it handles, the way it accelerates. And while the HR-V may not have the most horsepower of any vehicle on the road or in its class, that doesn't mean that it necessarily isn't going to get the job done for those who may wish to purchase it. You're not going to necessarily drive around with a carload full of people on a regular basis. I guess that could happen, but I would imagine that's probably not going to be the case. Same thing with cargo. There's different things that can come up in different situations. But in my experience, and again, you got to take this with kind of that knowledge of what I just said, I don't find the HR-V to be grossly underpowered. The horsepower to weight, let's say that correctly, weight ratio is not terribly bad. So obviously, I don't think it's that underpowered for what it is. And especially depending on where you live. Now, again, it goes right back to what I just said. I live in Shreveport, Louisiana, a relatively flat area. So if you don't live in an area with a lot of hills and a lot of issues like that to deal with, challenges to deal with like that, well, I think the HR-V will not seem to be underpowered. It gets up to speed in a reasonable manner. It's not terribly quick, but it's not so slow that it's a problem. I mean, you could outrun that tractor right there without a problem with your HR-V. That's a fact, and really other vehicles as well. Just saw that there, so I kind of threw that out there. How convenient. But I mean, here I am, not really that concerned about trying to get up to the speed limit that fast, but I did anyway. The speed limit on this road is 50 miles an hour. Wasn't hard to get there at all, and I'm not pushing the gas pedal that terribly hard. So what about the overall driving experience? Well, the ride quality is not bad. The cabin is somewhat roomy. And I like the fact that if you're looking for a vehicle to get around with in a large city, you do a lot of driving, the gas mileage is going to serve you well. It's nimble. It's being a smaller vehicle with a shorter wheelbase that always makes for good handling and maneuverability. So it's just a good idea. Obviously, a lot of people are going to have different opinions and say, oh, it's underpowered, or it's this, or it's that. And for some people, depending on your situation, that might be the truth. But then again, you're going to have other people whose situation is going to fit perfectly, and they're going to say, I love my HR-V. It's just all there is to it. I've had people in other videos I've made in the last 2.5 years who have said that. So overall, it's really a situation where, well, it's up to the consumer to really make that decision. I try and give you the best information that I can. And so here, we're gonna just do a little acceleration test. Speed limit's a little bit higher here. Obviously, you can hear the engine working. So let's see. When do we get to 60 miles an hour? Right there. I didn't think about using the Dragy really, but we're not gonna do a 0 to 60 test with the HR-V, at least not today. Because I don't think anybody's really that worried about it. But overall, for the segment that it falls into and for the people who are likely to want to purchase such a thing, well, I think it's very well suited for that. But I have to say, I'm probably in the same boat as many other people. I look forward to seeing what the American market version of the 2023 model is going to be like. What are the changes going to be? What would you like to see? Tell me down in the comments, and maybe some of those things will be exactly what takes place. Now, I realize that you might be considering multiple vehicles as a potential option to purchase a 21 or maybe a 2022 model. Hopefully this video helps you to make a decision on whether or not the HR-V is for you. But to help even further with that process, make sure to check out the link in the description of this video to the FindTheBestCarPrice.com website, where we train you for free how to go about buying your next vehicle the same way that a professional auto broker does business. It's all done through email, and you will literally start a bidding war for your business between multiple dealerships. Thanks for taking the time to watch today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.